What's up with the YouTube? This here Gorilla Wayne. Jane, she inside. I'm out here on the patio. I had a subscriber ask me, did I have any suggestions for a person who don't meet the poverty guidelines for the I-864, which must be filed when you petition for alien relative. Well, it's not much you can do. He said his wife is in Ethiopia. They got married. He said she didn't want to come to U.S. He said all he got is Social Security check. That's fine there in Ethiopia, but now that she married, she wants to come here. He said he on Social Security. Uh, he can't get her here. He don't make enough money. Well, I'm here at the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services (USCIS) IH the I-864P form, which lays out the poverty guidelines 2023, updated in 2023. Poverty guidelines for affidavit of support. Two people, if you're not in the military, it's 24,000. And it goes up. Y'all can look at this list I'm looking at. Three people, 31,000. Four people, 37,000. Five people, 43, 44,000. Six people, 50. Seven, 56. Eight, 63. These are the minimum poverty guidelines that you have to make annually when you file that petition. When you file that I-864, they're going to look at your tax. How many other dependents you got on your tax slip? You got two dependents, you're going to have to make a minimum of $24,650. Or the ball won't stop rolling. For Hawaii, that's for 48 states. Hawaii, 30,000 minimum. Wait, no, that's Alaska. 30,000 for two people. And it goes up from there. Hawaii, I'm sure it's higher. No, it's lower. 28,000 minimum. 125% of poverty guidelines goes up. There's not much you can do if you don't meet the poverty guidelines besides adding a little income. Other than that, I don't recommend this. I wouldn't do it, but people do it though. A lot of people do it though. They're doing it all day long here in Texas, down at the Texas border, Arizona border. Hell, I got a video up on how the Chinese doing it. They're going on the internet. They finding them coyotes. Coyote is somebody who you pay to bring your loved one through the desert to bring them to the U.S. I don't recommend it, but they doing it all day long here in Texas, and they getting in and they getting asylum. They getting in here, and the U.S. is allowing them to stay here. I got a video up on Chinese coming to the U.S. free of charge through Mexico. You hire the right coyote, they get you in here. You can actually look them up. Look them. I got a video about it. I don't know any coyotes. I didn't do that. But you hire the right one, hell, you be all right. They coming in through Texas, Arizona, all day long illegally, and they coming in here and they staying. They shipping around New York and everywhere else. If she can cross the border, you can go pick her up. Yeah, you can buy a plane ticket to Mexico, and she hire her coyote from there. Take your bank loan out, take your loan out, buy your one-way ticket to Mexico, and hire a coyote from there. Only thing I make sure you got your reputable coyote, because some of these coyotes ain't coyotes. Hell, they are hyenas. They just want the money. You fly your loved one to Mexico, you get that money, you'll never see her again. She might end up on a cantina with some cerveza, or just dead. And the man that got the money, you never see her again. So you got to be careful behind. You got to make sure you got the reputable coyote. Google it, research it. Hell, you come to Texas, bro. You go down to the Laredo border, Tijuana border. You probably find your coyote, some good coyotes down there. You come here and you ask around, you might find your coyote. I ain't never did no shit like this. Hell, I'm just making a YouTube video. I'm telling the truth. Everybody know it. But if you broke and you ain't got no money, hey, you can't hit that affidavit of support. They coming in here all day long. Sure will. Buy you a plane ticket closest you can to Mexico, and she can walk from there. I don't know if you can get a plane ticket from your country to Mexico. Get your plane ticket, get into Mexico, coyote and bring on in. U.S. letting them stay here, man. They riding coaches. I seen on the news, they posting them up in high-end hotels sometimes. You better look up Texas. They got illegal immigrants all over the place. They laying up in high-end hotels. They eating good. They walk here over the border, and they in high-end hotels. Hell, when your loved one get here, you can go meet her at the high-end hotel. Y'all can lay up before you get ready to come home. But one thing, if your skin is kind of dark, if you're African descent, sometimes they treat you a little bad down there. But I used to be a Greyhound bus driver. I have seen some. I don't know where they was from. I seen two twin women. Immigration took them off the bus, and then they brought them. They forwarded them to the bus's next stop, and they got back on the bus. I don't know, were they Haitian or what they was, Jamaican or what, but they was illegal, and they got on in here. So if you ain't got no money, get you a coyote. Other than that, you just got to go to work, or you can just, if your wife want to come to the U.S., yeah, you got to go to work, and get your taxes up to $25,000 on your tax statement, so you can fill out that I-864. Or you can do a joint sponsor. You know any other people? You got any friends or relatives that will joint sponsor? So if you don't make enough money, you and someone else or two other people, you and two or three other people can be put on the I-864 to sponsor your loved one, so you can bring them here. If you don't make enough money, if you know somebody else that's willing to go on the I-864 with you, it can be two or three other people. You and two more people on the I-864, you should be able to swing the minimum poverty guidelines and bring them on over here. Other than that, there are employers who sponsor I-864s. But pretty much you got to have a degree, or you got to be working for the government or something like that. You got Amazon and Microsoft and Google. They sponsor a lot of people. But on the paperwork, you got to have an advanced degree to for in order for a company to sponsor you. It's got to be a job that your average American can't get. You got to have something, or it has to be uh, you have to be related in the government, some kind of government work for employment visa. One employment-based visa is a H-1B visa. Employee eligibility must be a non-immigrant job applicant. Must hold a valid job offer from a U.S. employer requiring specialty, knowledge, or skills. Must hold a U.S. bachelor's degree equivalent educational certification required by specialty job role. H-1B visa requirements for employers must hold an open job role requiring the application of a specialty knowledge or skills. Open job role must require a U.S. bachelor's degree equivalent education or certification for entry. Must be able to show a lack of qualified U.S. applicants for open job roles. 21 U.S. companies that sponsor H-1B work visas: Accenture, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Meta, IBM, Apple, Intel, Deloitte, Cisco. You got to have a high degree. Permanent workers, employment based visas. First preference is the B1. This preference is reserved for persons of extraordinary ability in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics, outstanding professors or researchers, and multinational executives and managers. This preference is reserved for persons who are members of the professions holding advanced degrees. This is the B2. For persons with exceptional ability in the arts, sciences, or business. The B3 visa, EB3 visa. This preference is reserved for professional, skilled workers and other workers. Skilled workers are persons whose jobs require a minimum of 2 years training or experience, not of a temporary or seasonal nature. A skilled worker must meet the educational training or experience requirements of the job opportunity. Relevant post secondary education may be considered as training. Skilled workers are persons whose jobs require a minimum of 2 years training or experience, not of a temporary or seasonal nature. The skilled worker must meet the educational, training, or experience requirements of the job opportunity. Relevant post secondary education may be considered as training. So if you don't have any degrees, you could actually do the EB3 visa. And you don't have to have a higher degree. This just has to be a job that requires at least 2 years training. A minimum of skilled workers are persons whose jobs require a minimum of 2 years training or experience. You could actually do that without a degree. Or you're a professional. Okay, EB3, that is an option. Unskilled workers. You must demonstrate the ability to perform unskilled labor requiring less than 2 years training or experience that is not of a temporary or seasonal nature. You must be performing work for which qualified workers are not available in the you must be performing work for which qualified workers are not available in the United States. You must meet any other requirements specified on the labor certification. Now that's a possibility too. Unskilled workers or others. Now it's a lot of people come from Mexico over here, pick tomatoes. Don't nobody want to do that. Now, uh, you find a job working picking tobacco or tomatoes or something like that. That's unskilled workers. Don't nobody want to do that. That's meets the criteria of you must be performing work for which qualified workers are not available because nobody wants to do that here. Labor certification and a permanent full-time job offer required. So that is a good one. That is a good one. That EB3. I like that one. All the rest of them, you got to have degrees. Fourth preference, EB4. This preference is reserved for special immigrants, which includes certain religious workers, employees of U.S. Foreign Service Posts, retired employees of international organizations, non-citizen minors who are wards of courts in the United States, and other classes of non-citizens. Fifth preference, EB5. This preference is reserved for business investors who invest 1.8 million or 900,000 if the investment is made in a targeted employment area in a new commercial enterprise that employs at least 10 full-time workers. EB3 is an option. You don't need a degree. You just need to be a skilled laborer with a job offer. And nobody else in the U.S. will do the work. You ought to check that out. Go to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services and employment. Type in employment-based visas, and you can get all the information on that. This website right here that I'm on right now. A basic guide to U.S. work visa sponsorship. Getting sponsorship and applying for a U.S. work visa is a complex process. Here are the basics. Anyone who's traveled to the U.S. will be familiar with the most common visa types. If you visited friends or relatives taking a business trip or vacation in the U.S., you'll have gone through the visa application process or traveled under the visa waiver program. A visa is a travel document issued by a country to a visitor giving them permission to enter and remain in the country for a limited time and for specific reasons such as tourism, journalism, study, or work. Yeah, you can get go to school, get a visa to go to school too. Things get more complicated when it comes to work visas. These visas allow visitors to carry out work for a U.S. employer while they're in the country, most commonly on a temporary basis, but sometimes permanently. There are many different types of work visas. Most of them require that you have a job offer and an employer sponsor before you arrive in the country. Obtaining a U.S. work visa is complex and requires legal expertise. Our basic guide touches on the most important things you need to know before starting the process. But keep in mind that information in the guide is for general informational purposes only and doesn't constitute legal advice. All the latest official guidance and additional details can be found in travel.gov. Types of U.S. non-immigrant work visas that need employment sponsorship. The H-1B, the most popular type of work visa. This allows companies to hire highly skilled foreign workers. The L-1, also called intercompany transfer. This temporary this visa is for temporarily transferring an employee to a U.S. branch or subsidiary of their current employer. The employer must be an executive or manager. O1. This visa is for people with extraordinary ability in their field, such as artists, athletes, movie stars, television personalities. Types of U.S. work visas that need employment sponsorship. First, priority workers. Immigrant work visas are divided into 5 categories, with the highest preference given to priority workers. First, priority workers. Second, professionals holding advanced degrees and persons of exceptional ability. Third, professionals and other workers. Fourth, certain special immigrants. Fifth, employment creation investors. How much does U.S. work visa sponsorship cost? Petition fee $460, application fee $190. American Competitiveness and Workforce Improvement Act charges $750 to $1,500. Fraud prevention and detection fee $500. Added fee for companies with more than 50 employees where half are foreign nationals $4,000. Wow. Well, we work ideas. www.wework.com. Y'all want to read through this? Y'all can go over here to www.wework.com and read through this. A basic guide to U.S. work visa sponsorship. Then you got student visas. You can go online and Google that. Other words, if you're on Social Security and you're married, your old lady says she just want to be married. She don't want to go to the U.S. And now that you're married, she's trying to go to the U.S. Well, tell her to go to work. She need to go to work. She need to help you out. Both of y'all working, y'all might be able to meet the minimum poverty guideline, or you're gonna have to do a joint sponsor. You're gonna have to get somebody to sign on that I-864 with you to help you meet the poverty guidelines, or tell your spouse to sit down and chill and be thankful for their blessings. Because y'all old. She just need to chill and be thankful for the blessings that you have brought to her. Well, folks, that's all I got on this. I'm sitting out on my patio, enjoying me a cold drink tonight. Y'all have a blessed day, blessed night. I'll holler at y'all later.